Low energy after 40 isn't aging. That is a lie that keeps you stuck. There's a story that gets told to people over 40 the moment their energy starts to slip. It's subtle, it sounds reasonable, and it's completely destructive. That's just normal aging. That sentence ends more progress than almost anything else that I hear. Because once you believe it, you stop asking better questions. Let's dismantle that for a moment. If energy loss were caused by age itself, then the decline would be predictable. It would show up at roughly the same time, in roughly the same way across most people. But that's not what happens. Some 45-year-olds feel wrecked. Some 55-year-olds feel sharp, driven, and resilient. Same age, wildly different energy. I know because I've been there myself. I have more energy and drive now at 54 than I ever did at 40. That alone should tell you something is off. Age is not a mechanism, it's a number. And biology doesn't operate based on birthdays. So why does this myth persist? Well, because it's convenient. It gives medicine a clean exit. It gives fitness culture an excuse. And it gives high performers a socially acceptable reason to tolerate decline. Nobody has to be wrong if it's just aging, right? But here's the problem. Believing that lie changes your behavior in ways that quietly make things worse. When people think that energy loss is inevitable, they do one of two things. They either accept decline and lower their expectations, or they fight it with more force. Both paths will fail. Acceptance leads to slow disengagement. Force leads to faster breakdown. And both are justified by the exact same lie. So here's what's actually happening. Energy doesn't disappear because time passed. It erodes because systems stop adapting efficiently to load. Load from work, load from training, load from stress, load from poor recovery patterns that were tolerated for years. None of that is age. That's exposure. High performers accumulate more exposure than most people. They carry more responsibility, they make more decisions, they live in environments that never truly downshift. And for a long time, their bodies adapt until the point comes where adaptation slowly becomes impossible. And that transition gets mislabeled as aging. But it's not decline, it's feedback. It's your body trying to tell you something. And here's where the myth does real damage. Once someone believes that energy loss is age-driven, they stop investigating. They stop questioning, like why mornings feel harder, why recovery feels incomplete, and why stress lingers longer than it used to. They don't look for patterns and they don't look for causes. They start looking for coping strategies. And that is exactly how you end up with a life built around managing symptoms instead of fixing systems. Now, let me make this a little uncomfortable. There are entire industries that benefit from you believing this. If it's aging, no one has to explain why their advice stopped working. If it's aging, no one has to account for poor diagnostics. If it's aging, no one has to challenge the idea that normal doesn't equal functional. That myth protects mediocrity, and it costs high performers years of unnecessary decline. Here's a much better question to ask yourself. Not, am I getting older? But what used to bounce back easily that no longer does? That question will lead somewhere productive because aging doesn't selectively erase recovery capacity, but cumulative strain absolutely does. Here's another question. When did effort turn into exhaustion instead of energy? That's not age. That's system failure. And here's the most important one. If someone 10 years older than me can feel better than I do, what does that say about the story I've been told? That question, that gets to the heart of it. This video isn't about telling you what to do. It's about removing a belief that keeps you from seeing what's actually fixable. Energy lost after 40 isn't a verdict. It is a signal. And signals are absolutely useless when you mislabel them. If you call this feedback aging, well, you ignore it. If you call it information, then you can respond to it. And that difference changes everything. So if this video hit a little bit of a nerve, it's supposed to. If you got some understanding of the age-energy relation out of this video, please share it with somebody who's accepted aging as a verdict. Maybe you can get them starting asking better questions as well. So subscribe if you want clear physiology first breakdowns without the motivational fluff. And if you want to start rebuilding intelligently, the link in the description gives you free access to my executive energy blueprint. This isn't about fighting age. This is about refusing to believe a lie that keeps you stuck. I'll see you all very soon. Take care.